it's just we're going to be live. So
Okay.
yeah. So let's talk about that. Like, hi everybody. Oh, I have the wrong background, and I'm Linda again. I was
Hi, Linda.
I did an event with the little kiddies today, and they're not really little kiddies, young people, and
Uh-huh.
I was Linda, and then I had the Midnight Spark, and Harry's from London, and he's just like, I thought it was like mid-afternoon for you guys. Why do you have midnight? To be in? And I'm like, oh my God. So then I put this other furniture in the background here.
Oh,
I changed it because I was midnight sparking in the middle of the afternoon.
oh.
And he was like,
Causing confusion.
oh my God, Richie. Hi, Richie. I got, um, um, yeah, I got home safe. I'm doing my podcast thing, so I got to go. Thank you for checking. Hey, bye. Love you too. Bye. To make sure I got home.
Oh, I
Uh,
love that.
yeah, that's really sweet. That it was a very nice time. Unfortunately, we were under the impression that we could stay till 10 and we had to be out by 10. So that like was a
Oh,
little bit of a everybody was a little shook.
oh dear.
And,
Yeah, that
and
makes
it's
changes
funny.
things up, doesn't it?
Yeah, because they all know that I did Zoom before all these years, but like they don't get it, because they just like haven't been in my presence. So like they're like, "Oh my God, you don't stop dancing," and I'm like, "Yeah." And like then they played like a bachata, and I was doing the bachata, and then they played the merengue, and I was doing the merengue, and then I was like, "Oh my God!" They're like, "You can like do all these dances." I'm like, "Yeah, like did it for like 15 years. Like if I can't do it, like
Yeah.
always like." But I don't realize like that I'm 62, right? Like so like they're not seeing me as like a young person like dancing. It's like
Yeah.
when we went to the over this summer we went and there was outside like at a train station they had like a open air and there was a DJ. I went dancing with it and they're like, "Oh my God, you don't stop." And I'm just like, "Yeah, because I don't think I'm 62." I'm like, now I get it. Like they're looking at me like, "Oh my God, she doesn't stop." She's like, "It's an old lady dancing." Like, oh yeah, I'm old now. Yeah, that's true.
Age is just a number. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Yeah.
fun. And my hair went through like I had it back and then I had it up and then my little thing that I was have it back
Oh, yeah.
broke.
I usually tie my hair in a knot. Oh, excuse me. Tie my hair in a knot. So
Yeah.
I got mine up today too.
I can't tie it in a knot. It's not long enough yet, but
But you've
uh,
probably tied it in a lot
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in your
Little
lifetime.
tiny knots.
You had
Um,
lots and lots of hair. Your hair is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um, when I was very, very young, I had long curly hair and I would always complain about like the knots. And
Mm.
then uh, my father's like, "Well, if you don't let your mother brush it, you're gonna cut it." And then my mother cut it like to here. And then, and then he was like, "No, shorter, shorter, shorter." So I had a pixie like for first grade and like kindergarten. And then I'm tall and like, flat chested and whatever. Then everybody would call me Sunny.
Oh no. Oh
It
no.
was such a traumatizing thing. And so it's like now I have short hair, but it's gonna grow back. Just
I had long, crazy curly hair. And my mom, I don't know if she was sick or if it's when she had my half sister. I can't remember, but I was little. I mean, young. She was born when I was 8, so I mean, I wasn't little,
right.
but I remember that he was brushing my hair because my mom used to brush my hair because it was big, big crazy hair, and he was brushing my hair. And mom, I have a tough head because mom would just mow through it, and
Yeah.
he was having issues doing my hair, I guess. And so anyway, all of a sudden I went from having hair, and it wasn't really long, maybe shoulders, enough to do pigtails and ponytails and stuff. And yeah, he went and had my hair cut because
Yeah,
he couldn't do it. He probably, it's not that he couldn't do it, he didn't want to do it.
yeah, and he didn't want to hurt you, probably, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
your mother was
possible.
just
My
like,
mom
"I'm
just,
done."
she just went through it and it's like, this is just how life is. You got to develop a hard head if you've got this kind of hair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. And then my mom would do like, remember rag curls,
Oh, yes.
right? Like holding him and like do this thing. And my sister has like straight, kind of like thick hair, and the curls would be like she'd take them out, and in like 2 minutes the curls would be out.
Oh.
What? Why are you starting already?
They're like, you
Um,
went to dinner. We haven't eaten.
no, I fed them beforehand. I said, let me feed
Oh,
them.
they just want to be on the show.
Yeah, I guess that.
It's quite possible because I know that when I was where I was living at before, the little puppies, the little one, I swear she needed to be on every Zoom call I was on, whether it was in court or not, she needed to
Yeah,
be
I'm gonna
there.
I'm gonna do that thing where I go upstairs because just
Okay.
don't want to deal with that again. So you're gonna be that way. You could just be that way. I think my office is trying to say like, hey, you gotta start using us again. You gotta start getting used to being up here, you know? That's
Start
all.
using more square footage of your house.
Yeah, right. Use the office. Oh, it's quiet. At least it's quiet up here. So, um, we that so one of the things that came up for me is like when I was on the call with the young people, it's like all their fears, all their anxieties about speaking, it's all the same thing that the big people have. Only they're 15 and 16, and you can tell them, hey, like you just have to work your way through it and you just have to practice. And so that it's like second nature. And then, if somebody is distracting you, you can kind of read the crowd and you could talk from your heart if, and it's just like all the things you would say to an adult, you know?
Yeah.
And they all have, they call it this signature like process. And one of
Oh,
the things they come up with is like what is it called? An acronym. So like, for power or for a presence, you know, uh, object, like they come up with something that helps them go through it so that
uh-huh.
they're repeating it. And we're at the last, this is the second to last meeting of the year. So they've all performed, they've all like got their feet wet. And my girl has like had like 5 or 6 talks or something like that.
Oh, wow. She's doing great.
Yeah, I mean, I probably even more than that, like, but because I'm not like up on it that much, like
Yeah.
how many she did. But we just keep getting like these updated versions of her talk.
Nice.
And both seems like all the kids are talking about the same thing, which is like self-esteem, loving yourself, and knowing that you're on like the right path, and giving young people like the tools to
Mm.
like be more powerful and be in your presence and own your gifts. And so that's really cool. So there's only 3 of them that made it to the end.
Hmm.
2 of them dropped out, or one of them wasn't there today. And so we had 5. We have 4 now. So, and so it makes me think that if they can do it, and they're so, they've only got like 15 years of life. I love
Yeah.
when they go, I've been wanting to do this my whole life. I'm like, it's only 15 years. Like, I've been out of high school longer than that.
Yeah.
It's so cute. And it just one of those things that just crack you up, like, and it always cracks you up. I
Hmm.
had a boss, and his name was Frank. and he would always say, "Let me be frank with you." And I'm like, "Who else are you gonna be?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would say to myself all the time, like, "Who even says, 'Let me be frank with you'? Like, I've never
Yeah.
said that,"
That's
you know?
pretty funny though. Yeah.
And I'm not frank.
Yeah.
He just he just passed away actually just
Oh.
very, very recently, and,
Yeah.
he had gotten COVID and he was in Florida and, like,
Oh.
has all the money in the world, but he was stuck down there, and
Oh
they
no.
they couldn't, like, move him or anything like that, and that really took a toll on him because it was that bad time, like, it wasn't, like, after they kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
I think he you know,
Hmm.
his life was cut short because of that, I'm sure, and I'm sure his quality of life wasn't too good the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But
Oh darn.
yeah, but back to what I was saying is that if you have a need or desire to speak about a topic, you don't have to be an expert, but you should have some sort of track record, maybe, or maybe not even a track record. It's like, I just do so many things. It's like when I'm talking to somebody, I'm just like, somebody at the dance tonight said that they wanted to write a children's book. And
Oh.
I was like, so write it. I'm like, just do it. And
Yeah.
then, like, oh, but I need an illustrator. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's their first excuse. And I'm just like, well,
Um,
ChatGPT, you can like certainly just make the illustrations. And then she's like, well, I really would like my mother to do the illustrations. No, you're just giving yourself an excuse to not
to
do.
not do it. Yeah.
You can do the project, you can make the book, and then you could have a special edition, which is your mother's artwork, you know? And
Oh, that's nice. But then it's already out there, and now you've got
right?
part two.
Part
Yeah.
two, right? Like
Yeah.
the special edition of the book, right?
Yes,
And
I like that.
it was about her cat that had like feline AIDS, which is like a really that's a
Oh.
empowering that's a survivor of like feline AIDS
Oh,
because
I didn't even know that was a thing.
um
Wow.
it is. I mean, I've known about it for a while. It's not like humans can catch it, and a AIDS is a immune deficiency, right? Like it's an autoimmune disease.
Oh. Hmm.
Right. So it's like along the lines of that. So I know it's called feline AIDS, but I'm not actually sure if it's like the actual AIDS, like
Oh,
I don't
uh-huh.
think it has anything to do with that. And it is contagious though between the animals. So like if you have
Oh,
an
so they're
animal and
quarantined.
yeah, you got to quarantine them or whatever.
Mm.
So I was just like, yeah, you can just hear people's stories, like why they don't do things if you listen, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then it's like, why do I have all these projects that are like half done? It's like, oh my goodness. And another woman was there that it was actually the same woman that she said she's an avid reader. And I asked her if she would like to read my book. I said, it's not very long. And then she said, yeah, to send it to her. So her boyfriend is going to send me her email and I'm going to send it to her. And,
Nice.
yeah. But it's just like you have so many things on your plate and
Yeah, it's
get
it's
done.
a it's a part of ADHD sometimes too.
Yeah.
I was recently talking with my niece and I was like, um, they're twins. My two older nieces are twins, and the one all of a sudden is like posting that she's reading all these books. I'm like, oh wow, that's great. I didn't even know that they were readers. So, but then all of a sudden she was telling me, she's like, so what are we gonna do when you get here in a little bit? And I was like, well, you know, you plan stuff and we'll go do stuff while I'm down there to visit. And so she's like, well, me and her and her sister have been liking to go to these used bookstores to check out
I
books. And
love that. Yeah.
I said, your sister's reading too? And she said, yeah. I said, so did you guys quit crocheting? Because for like a year they were nonstop crocheting things. And she says, yeah, I think we have a hard time sticking with something. And I said, that's okay. It must run in the family because your aunt's no different. Like I was making jewelry for all this time and now I have this many. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get myself on hold, liquidate my inventory. So I've been making these journals now. So I said it must run in the family.
So, do you have like an Etsy shop or do you have,
I don't.
okay?
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked into it once before and it's not very, I don't know. But to me it doesn't seem like it's very user friendly on how to go in and set all that stuff up. But I could have just been looking at it, making it more than what it was too.
So I think the easiest thing to sell on, it might not be, it could be hit or miss, is eBay,
Hmm.
because that is like you take a picture of whatever your object is, and then
Uh-huh.
it like goes, here, do you want to use this listing? And then you go, yeah, okay, but I'll change it a little bit, right? And then you like put in your stuff, and then it tells you like how much the last item sold for
Oh,
in that category. And then you can put like your description, then you could just take pictures with your phone, and then you just post it. And then they just like tell you that, they bought it or whatever. My sister was gonna throw out like all these games that she had from the boys, and she's like, just wanted to know if you wanted them. And wasn't anything that like I played, like, so I collect games, right? Like, so I have like all these
mhm.
different games. It's like just not even my, I didn't even know those games.
Yeah.
So I said, but I'll take them, and I'll give them to this guy that I know. His son collects all different kinds of media, books,
Oh,
tapes, records, this, that. And so I said, does he take games? She goes, yeah. So I just looked at a few of them. It was like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. It was like some other things. I made like $500 just by like click, 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 click. I was putting up 10 items a day for like, I did it like 3 or 4 days in a row. And
wow.
then they just started selling, and I was just like, wow, that's so crazy. And then sometimes
Wow.
you could put stuff up and just not sell anything. And then I was kind of like, I just don't even care like what I get for these. So I put them up
Yeah.
as auctions and figured like somebody
Oh,
would like even
nice.
steal them from me. It didn't even matter.
Yeah.
And I wound up like making all that money. I was like, wow, that's really cool.
That is really cool. That's interesting. I definitely want to look into that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
I've
And
bought things on eBay before, not for a while because, Amazon is just like right there. So I don't have to like filter through many things. Look at the first five
Amazon,
things and it's like boom, there it is.
Amazon is so, they're just, they were really, really good like in the beginning, but then it's kind of like really they use their sellers to like find out what sells, and then they infiltrate
Yeah.
and then they sell it, and they make like Amazon basics, like,
Yeah. Oh, like what happened with you?
yeah.
With what you, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
I was saying. Yeah, that happened with the lady that I used to buy the pads for the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I was buying them from her from eBay from before Amazon even existed, and that lady, had a really good run, and then they just started selling them for like $5 cheaper. And now they're
Wow.
way up there again. Now they're just going up, skyrocketing, because there's no
Kind of
competition.
like what Walmart did with the mom and pop shops.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Home Depot too, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Home Depot did that too.
yeah, yeah. The little local hardware stores are, yeah. There's
Yeah, and
hardly any left. Yeah.
the other, I know two people, I might have said this already, um, that owned businesses that Home Depot like asked them like, oh, like, we're coming, and like, like we can give you like X amount of dollars for you to come on board with us, and or we're just going to run you over, like one or the other, right? So
Wow.
then they said, okay, we'll go on board with you. And then they would get this like detailed, one guy made lighting fixtures for vanities,
Oh,
like
uh-huh.
that lighting fixture that everybody had in their house, like, and they said that you will give you like $1 million contract, but you have to take back every single item that doesn't sell, and you have to take back returns with no questions asked. So like that $1 million would not be $1 million because they could
Yeah.
get $1 million worth of inventory and then not sell it and then have to take it all back. So,
Wow.
and then where would they sell it, you know?
Right.
And
Oh
then
dear.
Rocco had the lawn care, like the actual landscapers would come to him,
Oh,
with the like lawn boys, and there was like different kinds of snow machines, and he would fix all those. And they had to become the like warranty people for the machines, and then they got run out of business too.
man, it's just crazy how stuff like that happens.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then like now there are a few smaller hardware stores around, and then some of them become like Ace or whatever. But I do have one guy down the block of it. I think he like owns the building, and like, he's got like inventory for like 100 years in there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the only way I think you could probably,
Because it's been there forever.
yeah,
Yeah.
make it like,
Yeah.
is you own the property, and you're, kind of doing it that way.
Yeah. I
So
was Yeah. My son stopped by today and I was asking him, we were talking about things and he's like, "Hey, so your flight's affected because I keep hearing on the news, with the government shutdown that there's, TSA and the air traffic controllers and blah blah blah." And I said, "Well, so far I don't have any messages that my flight is affected, even though, the airline said, and then it also said that, they would let me know." And I checked and I'm like, still no emails and no updates on for my flight. And then one thing led into another and he started talking. I'm just like, gosh, he was brilliant growing up, but to look at him as listen to him as an adult, just it blows my mind on how in the loop he is on all kinds of things. And then we were talking about houses, and I was like, you have to make over $100,000 to be able to buy a home now. And he goes, yeah, if you can find one, if you make $100,000, you usually have to make more than that. He's like, do you realize for me to get like a regular starter type home is probably going to cost me over $600,000? And I'm like, no wonder there's a lot of kids living
where
at
did
home.
where does he live?
He's in Utah also.
Oh, he's in Utah. That houses are that expensive there?
Yeah, yeah, a handful of years ago, well, it's been more than a handful, probably a couple handfuls of years ago, a lot of people were selling their houses in California and coming here and paying cash for houses. And yeah, and then the Silicon Valley outgrew, so they built Silicon Slopes in Utah. So everything is growing. So yeah, except for that, not all the wages here match everything else that came in. So
Right.
yeah. So,
And
but
what
I
field
was
is your
just,
son in?
pardon?
What field is your son in?
He's in media. I always he says I'm going to be an engineer when I grow up. I thought for sure he would be either that or a statistician because he's just. And then he went into film, and I was just like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" Because I'm like, he didn't talk to people, and now he's out there interviewing people. So, and he's
That's
good at
wild.
it. He's really good at it. So I was just like, not sure how that happened, but he's his own person. And so I supported what he wanted to do. I still just sit back and go, wow, I just wonder where this happened when this little shift happened inside his head. So,
Yeah. And when is your flight?
Thursday.
So I know somebody that has been affected by it. Um,
Uh-huh.
they were supposed to go somewhere like 2 days ago, and they're still here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess they don't want to tell you because if the shutdown stops, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
everything will be like going. I always think it's crazy. I live like literally 15 minutes from the airport, and they
Oh,
would like I'd get to the airport and then they would tell me it was delayed. I'm like, dude, you couldn't have told me like before I left my house, like like
yeah.
I'm sitting here for 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I could go home and come back, really. It's like,
Yeah,
wow,
but a lot of people don't have that luxury.
I know, but I
Yeah,
definitely do.
yeah. And I think it's only if the airline knows that there's going to be a drastic delay, or if your flight's canceled, they should let you know as soon as they know, just because if you're actually checking in, like they suggest that you do anyway, even when it's not during a government shutdown, they're like, check and make sure your flight's on time. And
My
so,
sister's one
but
of those people that likes to go like 2.5 hours, 3 hours early for like in the United States. I'm like, oh my God, Lynn.
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, like whatever makes you happy. When we went to Vegas, uh, we checked in and she's just like, I just feel better getting there early. I'm like, all right, okay. So I get there and I was like gonna go to the shop like to get something for Rocco, whatever. And I'm like, as I'm going there, I'm like, let me just play this
Oh.
machine that's there, right? And I look in my wallet and I left all my money at the hotel. I left it in the safe.
Oh, what a blessing was that?
I felt like I was on the Amazing Race because it was just like I called an
Oh,
Uber.
because you had to go get it before you left on your, so it wasn't just I
But
can't gamble. It was,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it was
yeah.
disastrous for a
It was
moment.
like, so I'm like, oh my God, Linda, I left the money in the safe that like I won. And she's just like, oh my God. Now we didn't even turn our keys in because we were like, there was a line and we're like, whatever. So we didn't check out early. So it was like, okay. And so I still had the key. So I called like an Uber and I asked the people at the airport, I'm like, if I leave, can I come back in? I said, I
Oh,
did lie. I said I left a piece of jewelry in the safe because I didn't want to say I left cash in the safe because then I was going to be like crazy.
yeah.
So I told the Uber driver that I left something in the safe and I have to go up and get it. And could you wait for me? And then I'll like, pay for you to return me. And he's like, yeah, 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 no problem. So I'm like running through the thing, and like you can actually leave the airport and come back in again. I never even knew that.
Oh, I did not know that either. I
Like
figured
once
you'd
you
have
go
to go
through,
through all of it all over again.
yeah, but it's really quick the second time because like I didn't have anything with
Nice.
me. My sister like had my luggage. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna.
Oh, yeah. So there's less things for you to,
Yeah,
nice.
I just
Yeah.
had like my bag. That was it. And I'm
Uh,
like, if I get stuck, I get stuck. I mean, like whatever. And it was like I was on the Amazing Race. It definitely was. It was like, and I got the money and it was there. And then I took the money back and I'm just like, oh my God. It was so
well,
crazy.
I'm so glad now that you actually stopped playing the machine because
I
for a
know.
second there I was thinking you were just there with somebody, not that you were yeah, that makes a
No,
big
no, no. Like,
difference.
that was
Yeah.
before I had my like, addictive personality that I couldn't control myself.
Yeah.
Um, I used to go, I used to go gambling and I would not have a problem. I only started having the problem when there was like my job wasn't fulfilling and there was nobody around and the pandemic and everything. And I just wish that one time before that I just said like I was gonna stop and I'd stop, like before
Yeah.
I went into GA. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now it's just like now I like have to not go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, it's good because yeah, it's not fun to be around triggers if even
yeah,
if
but
even if you think that even the people that claim that they're the strongest, there's probably going to be something in life one of those times where it's not going to be.
I have just an addictive personality, right? Like, and I'm ADHD and all that other stuff, right? So like I'll do this and I just do it for a really long time and then I do something else and then I work out, I do this and that and all of I don't hate my addictive personality because like if you're addicted to something and it's good, that's okay.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're addicted to something and it's not, like being addicted to like Zumba wasn't a bad thing.
Right.
I was in really good shape.
Yeah,
I guess
and you're
like when
helping your heart and all kinds of good things.
yeah, I guess when my feet weren't feeling so good, like, and I couldn't take it easy because I was like just being, addictive about it. But I guess everybody has it. It's just you just need to know what triggers you to like put you over the edge. And
Mm,
then once you do, I've just done so much self-help that I felt like I had all the equipment. I just needed like the attachment, like, like
Oh,
that little attachment to tweak it. And there's people there that, like, I was with somebody that was, in the program for many, 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 many years, like in the 90s or whatever. And they were saying, like, you don't ever really talk about like your issue, like, because that's how I deal with things. Like, I don't go back. I don't look back. I'm not going to live in that place. I want to live in this other place where I don't have the problem.
yeah.
So they kind of are not involved in self-help as much as I am. So then,
Oh,
like, I don't fit their mold of like how GA, like, oh, I have to go here for life and whatever. And like, I want to cut back on how long I go, how
yeah.
often I go. And they're like, oh, like, oh, look, she's gonna like relapse. I'm not gonna relapse.
Yeah, you rewrote your story.
I
You had
rewrote.
an
I
experience.
had to
You
throw
learned
out
your
that chapter.
lesson. You rewrote your story, and so yeah, so
Yeah,
you're in the right now. Not oh, here I was yesterday with this issue.
right.
So yeah, yeah. That
Exactly.
I didn't never realize that that's what they.
Promote.
I never thought that that's what that was. It's that you keep bringing it up and keep reliving. Yeah, that's.
And and then Tony Robbins is a big, you know, fan of saying that like Alcoholics Anonymous and Gamblers Anonymous, and he hates that they keep bringing it up. And like,
Mm.
there's people that they're like, hey, Debbie, why don't you talk about your gambling? I mean, because it's behind me. I go, guess what? I don't wake up in the morning and go, I'm not eating meat today. I'm not
Yeah,
going to have milk today. Like, I'm not going to have a cigarette today. I'm not going to lie today. Like, I would have a list of like, I'm just going to do my gratitude and go on with my day. I'm not
yeah.
going to. And if I did fib, or I can't say like, I could say that like I've been snuck, some kind of food that wasn't vegan. And I'm just like, oh my God. There was this guy, and he gave me, when I was a vegetarian,
Hmm.
he put chicken in something that it was like a cheese quesadilla, and he put chicken in it. And I'm like,
Oh.
ah, I'm like, was there chicken in there? And he's like, oh my God, I forgot. Right. And then he's like, how long have you been a vegetarian? I'm like 5 minutes now. Like, you annihilated me, like,
Yeah.
so I, like I did that thing with the gummy bears that I didn't realize it, and just like,
Oh, the beef
yeah, the
gelatin.
gelatin, I didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought
They
they
I
all made
just
with
barely found
tapioca.
out that there's this what's it's like agar or something like that that you can use in place of the gelatin to actually make gummies because I found a recipe because I look into those sugar-free things because
Yes.
sugar is not a friend of mine. And it was saying that you didn't have to use the gelatin, and I thought, well, that was really good because it actually kind of grossed me out thinking of what it was. I mean, never had a problem eating it, but when I actually read what it
Thought about
was,
it.
then it's just like growing up eating chicken. It's like that I wanted to eat the chicken skin, and then when I grew up and I bought a chicken and I saw what the skin looked like, I'm like, I have never eaten chicken skin since then. So.
Right, somebody said like Oreos was like a staple in my diet, like when I went somewhere, because just till really recently. And my friend said, did you know that you could take an Oreo and like put it over a flame and it doesn't melt and it doesn't burn? I go, what? Like, that's just sick. And then I'm just like, I can't eat another, I'm never gonna eat another Oreo again. So that's what I did with like with the chicken, right? Like, I think the first time the chicken thing got me was I had kosher chicken. Kosher chicken is like so gamey because
Oh.
it's not processed. It's like just like this. I don't know why this chicken was so gamey. It was just like, and I just thought about that, and then I found out that the process that they do to make the skin yellow and like all this other stuff, and I'm just like, wow, that's really gross. And then that was so easy to like never eat chicken again after that. That just like wiped out my chicken thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, I'm having a problem like with the eggs. Like I can't stop eating eggs. So then I just did a deep dive into eggs. And then like
Oh,
the milk, like, and if you dive, you don't have to really dive that far. If you like say to like our boyfriend, like, why shouldn't I eat meat? Like, you're like,
yeah.
boom. Do you ever see the movie The Game Changers?
I don't think so.
So it's a documentary, it's on Netflix, and it's about all these athletes that became vegan and are like supreme athletes. Like, like, so that there's always that thought like, oh, you won't get enough protein and you won't be able to like perform at a higher, and there's this one woman, she was on the cycling team and she was 40 years old. And like she's at the like basically the end of her career, right? And she became a vegan and she actually placed for the first time. Like all the other times she couldn't get there.
Wow.
And then the strongest person in the world, the strongest man in the world, he's vegan. Race car drivers are vegan. I think there's just so many people. There was one football team that one of the star players was having like heart issues or something like that, like or cholesterol issues, and his wife was like, "I'm gonna cook for you," and like she's making him all this delicious food, and then like never told anybody on the team that like it was vegan, and then she's like, I'll cook for your friends too, and like she cooked for the whole team, and the whole team never won, never got to the Super Bowl or whatever, and she got them to the Super Bowl with like her cooking. They all like what healthier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's because of all the chemicals and the processes.
So
Because for some of it, I've heard that people do it because it's there's a lot of it's inhumane the way they do things, and I'm like, I can see that, where they have like all the where they corral everybody and all that stuff like that, and yeah, and
so
feed
like
them horrible things, and I don't
cows,
like that.
right. Cows don't give necessarily the most protein, like pound for pound, but they're herdable, right?
Oh,
So how horrible is that? That like hyenas like are pound for pound more protein per like, but they're not herdable. So they got off easy because they're like a nasty animal, right? So
oh,
the nice
wow.
animal gets abused. Like it's like so horrible. Um, we don't need as much protein as we think we do. Americans are obsessed with protein. If you go to another country, they don't even list how much protein is on anything. If you have enough food, you have enough protein. It's like when anybody doesn't have enough protein, it's either because they're anorexic and they're like cutting off their food supply, or they just don't have enough food
Mm,
because there's protein in everything. And if you're working out and you're becoming like a bodybuilder, yes, you need more protein, but you also need more food because you're burning more calories. So,
yeah, yeah.
you know, we're obsessed with it. And the thing we're not obsessed with is the thing that actually makes you healthier is fiber.
Mm.
Only 7% of the human race, the whole human race, gets enough protein, gets enough fiber in their diet. So that's insane.
Wow.
And if you
That's
just
huge.
if you up your fiber, it cleans out your intestines, you have better absorption of your nutrients,
Yeah, you
and
stay fuller longer.
stay fuller longer. You
Yeah.
cholesterol goes down, diabetes, because the reason
Wow.
why people have diabetes is because there's no absorption from their intestines. It doesn't get the cells don't get to absorb the nutrients because it's all like plaque, like the cilia that's like in your lungs
Oh, yeah, yeah.
doesn't move, and then food like ferments in your belly because it takes too long for it to.
And that's where you get belly bloat.
All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I never had
Wow.
belly float. I never
Huh.
have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's just crazy stuff that like we, and So there's like a couple of reasons why people go vegan, right? For the animals,
Hmm.
you can say like, like why do we eat like sheep and lamb and whatever, but we don't eat dogs, right? And then there are places in the world that do eat dogs, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you go,
And,
oh,
and horse.
and horse, right? Like
Yeah.
I heard they were going to do the wild horses. They're going to put it in with the beef in America.
Oh,
Can't wait to see how many people just stop eating beef totally
yeah.
after that
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
But so there's that reason. Then there's the health reason, right? Because people have a high cholesterol. If you're eating vegan, you're not getting another species cholesterol that so that
Oh,
lowers your cholesterol, and you're not getting their fat and whatever. So that's that. And then there's spiritual reasons why people become vegan,
yeah.
because they just think that it's where we were stewards of this earth and we're supposed to take care of every sentient being. So that's kind of weird too. And then so um religious reasons is some people that are religious and they don't that
Yeah.
like spiritual. So it's like health, oh, the environment. Um it puts a real taxing on the environment. There's like places in like um North Carolina that they have these pools of like they turn like purplish, and it's just all feces and waste
Oh.
and like somebody came up with the thing that let's call it fertilizer, and that's not
Hmm.
true. Like it's
Hmm.
not really good to be spreading it all over the place, and
Hmm.
and and the people that live down there downwind from those places.
Probably get a lot sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
people that,
wow.
and it's
Yeah.
usually like the under poverty level people that live like in those places and work in those places, and there was just a really big lawsuit that was settled. The people that the families just had cancer, and you know just terrible.
Hmm.
But there is something that's on the horizon, and people like they get grossed out about it. I'm just like, yeah, but you'll eat an animal, right? So
Yeah.
they found a way that they can, like how like if you need a surgery and they need to like clone your skin, kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
where they can manufacture your skin, right?
Yeah.
They grow it. So it's kind of like these big things like they make like beer in like vats, right? And they put like this some kind of stuff in there, and they actually can grow meat. But you need to take like a sample of the meat, and then it's like duplicated, right? So they take a chicken that is like 100%, it's tested, it doesn't have any diseases, it doesn't have cancer, it wasn't like hormone, like either chickens get like either uh, antibiotics or hormones. And if it
Hmm.
says like it's hormone free, they had antibiotics. If it says it's antibiotics,
Oh,
they got hormones,
yeah.
right? So uh, cows and stuff get hormones, and chickens get antibiotics, and then they just grow really big fast. And like it takes like 6 weeks for a chicken to get to the size of like a 6 month old now.
It's
They just
crazy.
like fat them out. So I think it takes like 8 weeks to grow a piece of chicken to make it like a chicken nugget. And there in the film that I used to show to the kids was that they got the very best chef, and they took this meat and they made chicken nuggets out of it. And the chicken's name was Ivan. And Ivan, yes, he gets poked, and they take like a piece of his skin out, but he doesn't get killed, and he
Oh,
gets to live a very nice life, and he's fed well, and he's whatever. And I'm not even sure like how many times they have to take that from him. But P.S. He's at the barbecue that they're having the chicken
oh.
that was made from him, and he's like walking around, and the kids, their mouths would just like drop and be like, "Is that the chicken they made the chicken out of, you know. So
Wow.
everybody tastes the chicken. It tastes exactly like chicken nuggets. And people would be like, no. They call it lab meat or um, clone meat, or like it's lab meat is I think the more uh, they could make that without killing animals at all.
So so it's all chemical?
No, it's actually
It's
like
actual
the
meat.
skin, like right,
Huh.
like if you had missing skin and they needed to grow your skin, they would grow it.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible. And
It's
then, yeah, and then you wouldn't have to, yeah, that's wow.
you don't have to. And then there's
Yeah. But
some
think of how all the countries that don't have access to the animals to eat, unless it's serious famine, their animals aren't even healthy enough to eat then because they're starving too.
there's certain places that don't eat like Indian people won't eat cows because the cow produces milk,
Huh.
and and we're not supposed to drink milk after we're not
When we're not
eating
babies
anymore.
anymore. I think we're the
Yes.
only species that continues to drink milk. I don't, but but yeah, I think that I've heard that we're the only species that continues to drink milk after we're
To,
weaned from our moms.
the line with the kids was like, "So, is anybody going home and drinking their mom's breast milk?" Like, and they're like, "Ew, that's gross." And like, "Oh yeah, that would be gross. How about your babysitter's milk or your auntie's milk?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's gross." I'm like, we're the only species that like drinks milk after we're not infants anymore. Plus, milk is condensed, right? Like so that you grow like from 5 pounds to like 25 pounds, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the other falsity, like there's so many false things that like, and if you look at the studies, right, like eggs are a good food, they used to say, or milk is good food. They can't even say that anymore because they can't, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
but if you
Yeah.
go into the study and you look at who made the study, who paid for the study,
Mm, yeah.
and
Well, and milk's full of sugar.
oh, milk is just bad for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
really full of sugar. I know my mom drinks whole milk, but she has osteoporosis, so she's encouraged to drink whole milk. And I'm like, you could take a calcium supplement and not drink
so
milk.
we are the we are the biggest drinkers of milk as Americans, and we have the highest form of osteoporosis. So what's going on there?
Oh,
So
wow.
you get
Mm.
you get more calcium from bok choy, and when you, I think you have to have like nuts and calcium like together, like an oil and calcium together,
Oh,
like to make your body actually process it. So those pills like we take, they don't even like, you don't even get like half of whatever you're taking.
oh, yeah.
It's and why do we have so much osteoporosis if like Asians don't?
Yeah,
Because they're
right.
able to. You're
Huh.
better off getting your source of calcium through food.
Hmm. Through their
Because
vegetables. That's not, wow.
it's wild.
I like baby bok choy.
I do too.
That's fun.
It's fun.
They
It's
just
fun.
look really cute.
It's delicious. I think that's like we have the most diabetes, we have the most osteoporosis, and we're telling people like lies. The New York thing drove me crazy uh, because the farmers are getting subsidies, so they have to overproduce milk, and then we used to drink like I don't know how many gallons of milk per person. It was like 200 and something gallons of milk per person a year. And now because of the nut milks and because other people like have like
Oh,
digestive issues, we're not drinking it. So say it got cut down to like 100, right? So the farmers get subsidies for producing the milk like it used to produce. So like say it's double, but we don't drink it, so they dump it. So
Oh.
you have to put those cows through all that. So like things have to be, when things don't
Mm.
work and you supplement them, they keep not working. So instead of, there's it was called Elmhurst Farm, and it was one of the biggest milk producers in Queens, and it was an old man, and he was like 90 something years old. I'm not even sure he's still alive, but he was had this milk industry here, Elmhurst Farm. It was like everybody got milk from Elmhurst Farm. And one day he was just like, people are drinking less and less milk, and it's not good, and the animals are suffering. And like overnight, he became a plant milk company, and he
Really?
changed all his, like his land to, instead of having cows, it had like plants, and he,
Wow.
well, so that he had like pistachio nut milk and walnut milk. It was like a very nichey kind of
Wow.
place.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you innovate for the better, and you're not like perpetuating like an issue that's a problem. And also the guy that had the chicken, the chicken industry is so crazy, the stuff that they do. They bid the farmers against one another, and they
Oh.
give them, they're chicken growers now, they're not like farmers. They get a certain
Oh.
amount of chickens, and they get a certain amount of feed, and they get a certain amount of like antibiotics and stuff to use. And then the first, the guy that brings in like the most chicken, he gets like a bonus, and the guy on the bottom loses. And they're not like, they don't work with one another, and they like work against one another, and they like
That's
do devious.
horrible.
It's so crazy. So this one guy got out of the industry, and he decided to have a mushroom farm, and he grows mushrooms, and they make all different things out of the mushrooms now.
Yeah.
And um, he was in like one show or like two shows, and you could see him like his wheels turning, and then he turned it into a mushroom. It's, innovation only comes out of desperation. And
Oh.
if you're
Yeah.
perpetuating the desperation, like by giving people like little bones, but Tyson chicken is the culprits of all that horribleness. They like
Wow. Oh, that's
did
just
people
sad.
against one another. And
Oh, that's just
like
horrible.
in the
Yeah.
olden days, like people, you probably know this because your dad had a farm, right? You would want your neighbor to have good seeds, because some of the wind's going to blow the seed over to you, and yours is
Yeah.
going to go over
Yeah.
there. And God forbid, like their tractor broke, you'd be like, hey, use my tractor. But like when they're making these contests where their livelihood, they almost like sabotage one another.
That's
So crazy.
horrible. My great grandfather had a turkey ranch, and
Oh,
it was cool to hear stories because um ovens back in, long time ago, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, only held so big of a turkey. Well, turkeys can get really, really big. So my great grandfather would donate those to the service because they had big ovens, and then, so that way no food went to waste. And like my grandpa used to tell my dad, he's like, they like to hunt and fish, but my grandpa said, you can't just do this for sport. You can't just go out and do this. And then, so eventually dad quit, so I grew up on like fresh fish. And like I was talking to my mom, I'm like, it's so hard. I'm such a snob when it comes to fish because dad's not around to go get a fish, but as he got older and, wasn't feeding a family anymore, he started catching and releasing because it was fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
he could do it that way. But yeah, there was times where he caught things, and he wasn't able to put it back, even though it's not something that he would want. He would not leave. He would until somebody had that, whatever it was. He
They
found
take it
somebody
home.
that would eat that or something, because that's just, that's how they were raised, how he was raised. And I think that's really nice that, that they did that, because I hear those horrible stories about elephants being killed for their ivory. It's like, what are they doing with the rest of the elephant? It's just
They,
laying there for all the other animals to come eat it.
there's another movie that I saw, and I went and I met the guy, and it's called The Biggest Little Farm.
Mm.
And they were like, he was like a cinematographer, and his wife always wanted to like have a farm, and they had this dog, and the dog was not able to be in like a neighborhood or in like the like in the housing it was just making so much noise or whatever, and they're like, okay, we'll just get a farm.
Oh,
They went and they get this farm, and then it was like the worst buy ever, because it was like so like it wasn't taken care of, so it had no nutrients and this, that, and the other thing.
oh,
And they meet this guy that's totally out of his mind. Like he's got like ideas on like how you get the farm to come back and whatever. And they didn't know that he's like out of his mind, but he was a genius, right? So he said you have to plant different things and you have to rotate things and you have
yeah.
to, so that the land could come back. And you know, and it's such a good movie. There's one part where animals are coming and they're trying to be organic, so they don't want to use any pesticides. So the gophers kept coming and like eating things, and
Oh,
like then they would like lose that crop, whatever. So winds up that they had white uh Pyrenees, Burmese, whatever they are, those big dogs, and the one dog attacked like one of the chickens, and they then realized that the other dog was like, he could be in there, he could, the gophers wouldn't come, and
oh,
he wouldn't hurt the chickens, like, right, like, so he was like a friend. So they figured that out, and then the gophers were not eating like the chickens and stuff, and they would go and irrigate the plants or something, like it was like so
oh
amazing.
man.
And since he was a cinematographer, this was an insane movie. It was just like, and you saw
Huh.
this
I'm definitely going to want to
land,
watch that because that sounds like it would be very interesting to watch too.
the dead land, just because this guy, and after the guy died, they found out like that guy was absolutely out of his mind. You listen to him, like, like that kind of thing, right? And he was at the showing in Manhattan. And, I did ask him, I said, are you vegan? He said, no, I'm not vegan. He said, but the animals on my farm have one bad day. They're not like cooped up. They're not like
Oh,
over, they just have one bad day. And like, to me, that's beautiful. Like, that's okay. If
yeah.
you're going to,
Yeah.
you're not going to treat them
Yeah, they
badly.
they raised them for a purpose and then they're thankful for yeah.
Yeah. And they're just not like, over, like
Yeah.
overproduced and like, taking their babies away and stuff like that, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's yeah.
That's horrible. Boy,
Yeah.
we really got off on a different tangent tonight.
Well, I like that because I've often been curious, because it's like I think I shared with you one time, it's like I could be vegan until it's like, but you can't have cheese. Like, but wait a minute.
I have
So
cheese
so
though.
I guess I could be vegetarian because a this vegetarian will eat cheese and eggs, right? Because
Yeah,
it's an
so
animal byproduct.
yeah, so there's right, that's a vegetarian, will eat honey, eggs, cheese. But the cheese is like not good for you either. That's like drinking milk. So
That's what my doctor keeps telling me. He says, you're allergic to milk, which means you should not ever be eating ice cream or cheese.
so there's butter, cheese, and there's like cream cheese, but it's made like with coconut oil, and it's delicious. I mean, like, I cannot tell the difference
Oh,
anymore. Back 20 years ago, I could tell you it tasted like wax. It didn't.
huh.
And like, I just came from the supermarket because I had to get the dogs dog food. There's Amy's has a pizza. It's like roasted vegetables, and it's like, here it's 10.99 like for the pie, and it's like, but probably like really serve like two people, like, could even just serve one. It is so delicious. There's no cheese on it whatsoever. It's
Oh,
like,
wow. Huh.
yeah, and it's so yummy. And then they also make like a margarita that has cheese on it,
Oh, yeah.
but it's like it's made out of like whatever. And soy got a bad name. Soy, like people think that you get cancer from soy.
Oh, yeah,
Soy
and it does
molecule,
reproductive harm or something like
yeah,
that. Too
and
much
it doesn't.
estrogen or so, yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Huh,
And so like they found
huh.
out the molecule looks very similar, but it's not the same. But like,
Oh, huh,
yeah. So
huh,
soy is
yeah.
actually, soybeans like edamame, whatever.
Love those.
I
Yeah,
love them.
yeah,
That's a
me
really
too.
good source of fiber, and
Yeah, yeah,
you can get them frozen here. Like I don't know what Utah has, right? But
yeah.
you literally like pop them in the microwave, and then they get like you went to the Japanese restaurant, and then you like pop them,
Oh, really?
a
Oh,
little
I'm gonna
salt
have
on
to
them.
look for that 'cause
It's so good, and it's like probably costs the same as like a serving at the Japanese place, and
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because
yeah,
yeah, it's horrible to go there. I'm like, really? You're charging me this
they
much for
have them
like a souped
shelled.
up pea?
They have them shelled, but the ones that are in the thing are more fun.
Yeah, oh yeah, I like
I
them
just think
that way
that's
too,
fun.
because you just salt the outside of them and then you get a little tiny bit of salt when you're popping them
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun.
Hey.
So,
All righty. We are at the top of the hour.
wow, look at that. And it was an enlightening evening.
It was, and you know what? I think that I was just looking looking over my vegan stuff. I don't know why. I think the lady that does the vegan classes and stuff like that, she just was on it or something like that. So I was looking at that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's nice to know why people do what they do. I mean, everybody's entitled to make their own choices and have their opinions, but to actually know something behind it instead of just thinking, well, that person's weird or, you know.
At the dance tonight, they were like there was food, extra food, and they're like,
Hmm.
"Oh, everybody could take it home." Like I didn't eat anything. There wasn't anything there for me to eat, but
Oh,
I had like some fruit. But my friend said, "Oh, could you get me like some steak and some salmon? Like I'm going to take it home." So, and I guess they had already had food, like so they was whoever was in charge of like packing it up, like didn't want
oh.
them to take more. So I went up and I'm like I'm like, please take this away from me. That it just hits me like that meat aisle in the supermarket. Oh my
Uh-huh.
God. I'll be like, oh,
Huh.
it's like
Has it been a long time that you've been vegan? Oh.
I tried to be vegan in 1991, but it was very, very hard back then. Like
Mm.
literally there was nothing to eat. And there was only like one or two different kinds of milk, like soy milk that you
Yeah.
could go to
Oh,
like
yeah. Yeah.
like the my mother said that I always like gave her trouble like eating meat. Like she goes, go figure, right? Um,
Oh, huh.
I was a vegetarian since 91, straight like through. There was one time that I ate chicken for a little while because I was on some diet and they told me that I wouldn't lose weight unless I ate chicken. I did
Huh.
eat fish for a little while, but since Rocco, since 2014, 2013, I'm not really sure when it exactly happened, but a total vegan,
Mm.
like, and I do buy leather like that at the thrift store or like at a secondhand store, but I won't buy it. I won't buy it like off the rack. There's just no reason to.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like they make vegan leather now, like
Yeah, they do.
pocketbooks.
Yeah. Well, and they actually have
The
for a long time. It's just that everybody
leather,
gave it a bad rap back then too. They gave it all
leather.
these crazy names, and it's like, yeah.
Or a vegan coat, like, and like if I have something like I have an Under Armour coat that has like down in it, like I'm not going to throw it away because I'm going to use it, like when it snows and I have to go shovel, I'm going
Right.
to wear it,
Yeah.
right? Like some people like throw all their shit out, but that's just stupid.
Oh,
Now you
yeah.
just don't have it.
Yeah. 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 If you have it, that's silly. Just don't go buy a new one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know why shoes, like, to me, Like, I think I grew up like I was in the bowling, you wear like bowling shoes and stuff like that. That doesn't bother me at all. Like,
Yeah.
or to get shoes that are pleather, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All
Well, look
right.
at that. It's an angel number. We're at 10:10. Oh, it's
Yeah.
10:10 here, which means it's 12:12
12,
there.
10.
Oh, 12:10. Yeah, you got 2 more minutes for your angel number.
I love you and thank you for spending the evening with me.
I
And
love you too, and thank you for spending your Saturday evening with me. I love that. Thank you
I
so
love that
much.
too.
Okay. All right. We'll
Bye.
see you later.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. You never ever know what we are going to talk about. And today we went on the big vegan thing. But it's good to just talk about a whole bunch of different things. So we were inspired to talk about being vegan tonight, and that's what we did. And hopefully, Julie will be back with us soon. She is in the middle of big negotiations, and a lot of things are happening. So she tends to stay up really late. And I guess, her energies are going towards that right now. So thank you so much for coming by, and we will see you soon. Take care.